Hello everyone, my name is Anamika Joshi and today I'm doing the part 2 of reading skills. So before proceeding further, let's take a quick recap of what we have studied so far. So we have studied reading, what do you understand by reading? Before that we have studied what is the purpose of communication, one should have why one should develop reading skills, or we can say what is the purpose of reading, how to become an efficient reader. So in this class we will study about the reading, the different styles of reading, because we have covered two basic styles of reading, that is skimming and scanning. And in this video I'll be covering the rest of the two types, that is your churning and assimilation. So as I said, that communication is a process and we have a different components of communication. That is for listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So reading contribute 16% of the whole communication process. So it is an important component, and if you're having a good reading skills, so you will be able to enhance and improve rest of the components. We have done this before, reading, what do you understand by reading, and how to become an efficient reader, and what is the purpose, and we have different reading styles. We have done the skimming, scanning, and let's do a quick revision of churning, because we are study a deeper concept of what churning is. So churning means there are two things in churning. You understand two concept in churning, that is churning equals to interpretation and inference. As I said in the earlier video as well, that interpretation means what you're trying to understand it line by line, because you're trying to interpret, or you're trying to understand about the concept of a particular passage or particular paragraph of a passage, right? In inference, what we are doing, we are finding out the conclusion, what writer want to say in a particular reading material. So what is with skimming and scanning, we came to know about what is the style and who is the end user, that is the audience, and what text type they have used, what textiles they have used, right? In churning, we will understand the basic concept, what this writer want to say in that reading material, right? So what is the purpose in detail, right? So we have also done this interpretation. What we do in the interpretation, how it is done, we have already covered this slide. Then we have done the inference, that you're trying to connect the dot, you're trying to find out the conclusion, right? Conclusion of the whole passage, or it can be like the conclusion of a particular paragraph of a passage. Churning is a technique because you are breaking the whole reading material into different parts, and you're trying to get the knowledge, you're trying to get the insight of a particular topic or angle of a particular reading material. So churning is a technique because you are trying to find out the concept, and here you are using your analytical skills, right, at a greater scale. So what you're doing in this churning technique, you're using your word meaning, you are doing coherence. There are two things you need to understand. So by word meaning, what we say, we're trying to find out the words which we know. We may have certain homonyms, right? Homonyms, these are those words which have the same spellings, but they have different meanings, right? So we are able to find out the different words, so this will enhance our vocabulary. If we do not know the word, we are trying to guess it by understanding the whole line, right? Or a whole paragraph. We have certain unknown words which will be able to understand via root words, right? So we understand certain word by using the root words from where it is came from. That is how the word is formed, by using a prefix, or maybe by using suffix, or by clipping something, right? We have already done this in the earlier classes that the different types of word formation process. So how the word is formed, right? And knowing the topic beforehand. This all will help you to understand the word and a line by line meaning of a particular paragraph or a passage, right? If I'm saying coherence, in coherence, it means using the discourse markers, right? We will cover this in the next slide. What discourse markers are and how you're able to coherent use this understanding this technique of churning, that is coherence. So word meaning, that you're trying to understand different meaning based on the context. Guess the unknown words from the context. Guess meaning from the root words. Read not the sentence but the sense groups and try to get an overview beforehand. So if you will able to understand who is the target audience and what is the purpose of any reading materials, you will able to understand the whole passage very easily, right? It can be for the professionals, or it can be to persuade somebody, right? To persuade to do some action, and it can be to make the people inform about a particular discovery, like we have gone through different articles in different newspapers. So what is the purpose of that? If you know that beforehand, you will be able to understand it very precisely, right? Then we have a discourse markers, which is a part of coherence. Coherence means interrelation. Co means together. So coherence means interrelations. So these are the markers which will help you to, connect all the dots and find out the inference, right? So discourse markers are the words that come at the beginning of the sentences, like clearly, therefore, lastly, on the other hand, however, in addition to this, moreover, like, and these are those words, right? If you use these words, you will able to understand the sixth and the next paragraph can be in addition to the first paragraph, or it can be in the opposite or in opposition of the first paragraph, right? So these are those words which help you to have a discourse. These are discourse markers because they are able to help you to get the coherence, how they are connected with each other, what the writer want to say about that. So they indicate whether the sentence is an example, a conclusion, or an opposite opinion. Like, for example, we can say, for instance, let's to illustrate this, right? We can use these kind of words. A conclusion, to conclude this. So at the last, we can say that. So we are using these discourse markers. So the reader will come to know that what is the flow of that particular passage, right? What is the flow of a particular article? Whether the person is showing the opposition or against that particular topic, or maybe in the favor of that particular topic, what he wants to do. Maybe he's trying to persuade you to do some action, right? To make some decisions. That can be the purpose, right? So these all can be clear if you know the discourse markers. They help us to understand how an idea is developed in a passage and also how an idea flow throughout the passage. The last slide style of reading is assimilation, right? That is called assimilating. Assimilating means you are comprehending something. You're trying to find out the gist of the whole paragraph. It is more similar to inference. But inference, what we are trying to find at the conclusion. Conclusion can be of a particular paragraph of a passage. But if you're saying assimilating, assimilating means we're trying to assimilating or taking together all the concept of all the paragraphs, and we are trying to comprehend it, or we are finding on the conclusion. What is the conclusion of the whole passage? So when we attempt to make a mental map of the entire passage that we have read, it is called assimilating. So assimilation is done for the whole passage. When we say we have understood a concept after reading a chapter, we have actually done assimilation. Assimilation means we have collect all the concept, we have collect all the information, we have organized those information in our mind, and we assimilated that we have find out the conclusion of that particular reading material. Right. So assimilation is the last type, or we can say that we do assimilation when we gone through the whole entire passage. Right. After reading a whole chapter or a whole book. So what you have understood, that will be your assimilation. Steps to assimilation. Churning has made available the information, because in churning what you have done, you have understood the whole concept line by line, so you know what the person want to say in which paragraph. So you convert the information into an idea. Now you do have all the information, you will organize that information so that you can take an idea of it. What is the idea of that passage? Think about it at a personal level, because it is a mental exercise and you're using your cognitive skills, you're using your judgmental skills. So you are, inculcating and understanding that thing on personal level, which is, we can say it is a subjective one. Look for pictures, videos, and other texts related to the topic to get better knowledge. Discuss with peers to get their viewpoints as well. Suppose you're, if you know, if you have read a particular topic, so you can have a discussion with your peers, you can have a discussion with your friends, like what we do as a group discussion. So this will also, clear your concept if you have certain doubts. This will help you to plant a mental map of the information you have heard, so that you can use that information afterwards while speaking or while writing something, right? So this is all about the reading. So we have studied the different the meaning of the reading, with different styles of reading, and you can use all the styles to get the gist and conclusion of the whole passage or paragraphs. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.